Hello everybody, and I hope you had a fantastic Christmas and New Year. Today's New Year's Day, hence why I am at home and not in the office, taking a well-deserved break, well, until our phone rings anyway. Did sell some over Christmas, New Year period, and also a couple just before Christmas, so stock's not low, but it is getting to the stage where I need to start getting some stuff in, because if I sell some over the next couple of days or next week, I'm in a position now where I've got to get stuff starting to churn. So now's the time to look for some stock. Now, traditionally, stock in January is expensive because exactly what I've just said to you. You know, you sell some stuff over Christmas. Nowhere's really open over Christmas to buy cars, so you get into this struggle of I need to find some stuff in January, and why the savvy guys are buying stuff in December. It's just how it goes, and that's why you tend to see not just trade prices rise, but also retail prices rise into March. It's because traders are paying more for the cars because they have to. The good stock's out there, but you've got to pay for it. And you're only going to make money if you sell cars at the end of the day, so we need them. So we're going to have a look today to see what we can find, and my process of how I look for the stock that I particularly want. Now, this is for me. I'm not saying this is the exact way to do it for you. You might be completely different, but I'm in a situation where body shops around me are really, really not screwed for work. They've got too much work at the moment, and trying to get a reliable body shop to work with you rather than just see you as a customer is very difficult. So I'm looking for clean cars, which everybody is, but you know, that's what it is. And I don't really want the mechanical headaches, because the bodywork is horrible, but you can kind of get what the cost is. Mechanical stuff is a nightmare. You see a light, it could be 200 quid, it could be £2,000. So I'm looking for perfect cars, basically, that I don't have to spend a lot of money on bodywork, and I don't have to spend a lot mechanically. And they are out there, and that's what we're going to look into today and how I look. So let's get into it. So part of what I want to take you through today is how I look at which cars I'm going to purchase from auction, or try to purchase from auction, and how I decide which car it is. It's very easy to see. I mean, we're going to look at a Chelmsford sale today that's happening on Wednesday, of which there are 135 cars going through. Sorry, 235 cars going through. This is at Aston Barclay at Chelmsford. There are other auction companies. There's no reason why I've chosen Aston Barclay, but for the sake of this video, that's what we're going to do. So, you know, other auction companies are available. So yeah, 235 going through, and if you've watched auction videos that are rife on YouTube at the moment, you'll notice that the ones that are the most popular are the guys that rock up to auction and go around looking at cars and, you know, doing all that. But I guarantee you the successful traders have done a lot of homework prior to actually rocking up at auction. They'll have done their homework, know exactly which cars they want to look for, and then literally hunt those cars out when they get there. This is the process that you don't see. It's a tad boring. It's not the walk around the auction video you probably love, but this is the bit that really makes you the money, not the bit of the auction. The aim of today is not to find the perfect car at auction, but what you have to understand is you can't look at 235 cars. If you looked at 235 cars, you'll spend so much time trying to find the perfect car to buy that you'll skimp, and you'll miss all the details that you need to really look at, and it'll become incredibly tedious. If you've got that level of attention, you've got that amount of time, then feel free and check every single car. But what I'm going to show you today and how long it takes, you'll understand why I say don't do that. Now, there are various reasons why a car will be at auction, and this is where you need to play CSI and work out exactly why that car's there. And this is a critical thing. There are many reasons why a car will be at auction. Some have to be at auction and some have to be sold, and that may sound like, well, of course they're going to be sold. But there are companies like leasing companies that will churn 3, 5, 10,000 cars a year, so 1,000 cars a month through auction, and they can't afford for those cars to sit around too much, especially as they're like 3, 4-year-old cars normally, and the average price of them may be what, 10 to 12,000 pounds. If you've got 1,000 cars going through, that's, I don't know, I'll put a figure up there because my maths isn't working, about 10 million I think. If you've got that much finance currently outstanding, you can't just have that sitting there waiting for the right sale, the right price. You need to churn, and it's really important for the vendors that those cars move on for the right prices, and you know, they have to be sold. There are other cars that go to auction that again have to be sold, but are there because they can't be sold through a normal network. I'm talking about part exchanges. So you'll have a part exchange come into one of the big car supermarkets, or one of the larger franchise dealers or independents, and it may not fit their stock profile. So say if a large company only sells stuff that's say 8 years old, for example, anything older than a 16 plate won't fit their stock profile. So although it may be profitable, it'll be much, not easier, but it basically I'll just shift it through auction because it's too much hassle. If it goes wrong or whatever it does, it's not their stock profile, it'll go through auction. And those are particularly the cars that we're looking at, is that they're good quality cars, they've been part-exed by a genuine customer, hopefully, for something newer, and that they've decided now's the time to change their car. They really are the cherries that we're looking for. I never ever buy stuff from car buying groups. We Buy Any Car. I've had so much pain from those. For instance, you're taking a car to We Buy Any Car and it's got an engine management light on. You'll make sure the engine management light is off before you take it to We Buy Any Car. Of course you would, because you want to get the most amount of money for it. But your job as a dealer is to miss those cars. You don't want those. Because they're the ones that are going to give you trouble. And I've had so many issues with cars like that from We Buy Any Car that I'm really just not interested in them. You know, your mileage may vary, and there is profit to be made in those, but the risk for me is just too much. I am literally after the part exchange cars that are in auction for a specific reason, is that the retailer can't retail them themselves. So let's get on with it. Okay, so here we are with the running order for Hall 1 here at Chelmsford. And the first thing I want you to look at is these vendors here. So you've got Marriott Motor Group, Gates Group. These will tend to go into batches in the auction, simply because the representative for the vendor likes to be there for a length of time. He can go through each car at a certain point rather than getting up and getting down. So they tend to go through in a batch. You can see all Gates. Then you've got SMC Group here, who have a number of cars going through. Sorry if I'm scrolling a bit too fast. I don't know how it will look on the PC, but hopefully you can keep up. SMC Group, Gates Group again. Was it Gates Group before? Yep. So obviously you have a little break and then come back again for some reason. Don't know. Motor Novo, Secure Trust, Nationwide Vehicle Buyers again, and it starts to get a little bit mixed up with some of the other finance providers. There's a couple of more Gates Group cars there. Motor Novo. The cars I'm specifically looking at here, I can see already, will be the cars from Gates, the cars from SMC, and I think that will literally be it. I think those are the two groups that I want to concentrate on, because they will be the cars that have come in, like I said, as part exchanges that are not fit for retail sale. You can see most of the stuff is over, well, it's 10 years old. You've got like a Swift hatchback here, 14 plate, that's done, where are we, 50,000 miles. That's good retail stock if it's in good condition. And it's an auto as well, so yeah, classic car there. But it's just too old for them. And they know that, yeah, they could retail it and make a profit, but by the same token, if they bin it off into auction, the likes of me will pay good money for it, and it's less hassle for them. They get their money straight through, and there's no comeback of finding a car that's 10 years old that's had mechanical issues. They're just, you know, much easier to make that money at auction, get the money back quickly. So those are the cars we're looking at today. Here is Hall 2. And you can see we've got Motordo, who are again a finance company. Car Giant, which is a car supermarket, so we'll probably look at some of the Car Giant cars. Stephen James is another good one. You can see they've got a few cars in, so another small dealer group. And then we get into the car buying group, Prime and Subprime and whatever they call them, Value. Which always makes me laugh. You've got a car buying group value car here, which is a Tiguan with, it's done 100,000 miles on it, but it's still like a 15 grand retail car. And some of their prime stock, which is this Fiat Panda here, a 62 plate. Yeah, it's only done 58,000 miles, but it's a Fiat Panda. With a retail of 2,700, that's prime stock, that is. But I don't touch this stuff at all, literally no point. Like I said, feel free to, if you want to have a go at those, then, you know, be my guest, but it's just not my bag. There's just too many risks there for me. Okay, so now we've worked out which vendors we want to look at, we need to go back into the vehicle finder at Aston Barclay and start narrowing down our selection. So here we are back into the portal, and what we want is, first of all, the sales, which is Chelmsford. And we want to look at the Wednesday dealer sales, so this one and this one. And we can close that. And then if you go down here, you'll see sellers. And we want to look at Car Giant, we want to look at Gates. I suppose you can look at John Gross as well, Marriott. Don't want finance, don't want vehicle buyers. SMC, we said. We've got 2 sections by the looks of it. Don't know why it's ticked that one, stop it. Secure Trust, no. Stephen Jones we'll have a look at. Car Buying Group, no. And V12 Vehicle Finance, no. So we've already narrowed it down to literally about half, maybe, give or take. Anyway, so that's that done. And we'll just quickly go through and look at the cars that, I don't think you can get a price on these, can you? No. So I'll quickly scoot through and try and pick out ones you want. You'll notice there's a little eyeball thing here. I've got to be honest, already quickly gone through. So you'll see some that have got the eyeballs on them. They're the ones particularly we're interested in. But just to show you the process that I go through. So basically, I can't really afford anything that's going to sell for more than £10,000. They're all out. So we've got a Zafira. I'm not a fan of a Zafira, honestly. I'm sure it's a great car to sell. It's a 7-seater and the likes, but it's just not for me. They don't wear very well, and yeah, just not for me. Another one there, an 07 plate Yaris. MOT's up shortly, so not really interested in that one. 10 grand cash guy, long MOT. Oh, you can see I've already shortlisted that one. Again, service history 18, 20, 22, 23, 4 main agent as well. So that's of interest. And you can see it's Gates Group. It's a 67 plate car, which, you know, they probably should actually look to sell that themselves, but the mileage at 83,000 is a little bit prohibitive and probably above their stock profile, hence why it's at auction and hence why it's a decent car. If it had 50,000 miles on it and it was at auction, I'd worry, because that would be a car they should sell themselves. But now I know the reason why that car's there, and it's the mileage. There's my CSI bit done. That's of particular interest to go and look to see if we can get hold of. A Skoda. Let's see this one from Gates Group. It's a grade 1 car. It's a 72 plate. It's done 6,000 miles. Why are they not selling that car themselves? What's particularly wrong with that car? It's not like it's missing a service because it's a 72 plate. There must be something, and your job here is not to work out what's wrong with the car. Your CSI bit is like your triage. Is it for you or isn't it for you? That one's not for you, but it's a particular example of why you really have to do homework as to why a car is at auction, and make sure you understand the particular reason why that car's there. That's there because there's obviously something wrong with it. Otherwise that would be on a forecourt because it's a particularly good car. So yeah, just beware. A little KA, not in the greatest colour, bit of doom blue looking like there, so I don't really think that's for us. This one you can see I've already shortlisted it. A Mondeo here, 93,000 miles again, so you know it's not there. It's a grade 2, so it should be in pretty good condition. It's a 2 litre diesel. I'm not in the ULEZ zone, not anywhere close to the ULEZ zone, so for us that's a perfect car to look at. MOT is a bit of a concern, January 24, but we'll get into that next. At the moment I'm just, I say, triaging and trying to find which cars fit our shortlist. You can see here again we've got a Focus diesel, one of the 1500 diesels, which is nice. A tad expensive, 81,000 miles, but you can see former keepers unknown. That probably means they haven't got the V5 for it, because that's where you get that information from. So even though it says V5 present, either that's not been updated, or this hasn't been updated, but there'll be a reason why that's unknown. I say it's normally the V5 is missing. 2 services, one at 12, one at 18. Hang on, 2 service, oh, 2 service books maybe. One at 12, one at 18, and then you can see from 1 in 21. So the mileage have been pretty regular, 12, 20, 28, which is what you'd expect. And then from April 21, which is 3 years, so you might find that's probably been a lease car beforehand, so 3 years of lease, come off lease, and it's gone to a second owner that in 2 years has never had it serviced until September this year. Only 2 years, 2.5 years, but in that period has done 50,000 miles. So I've shortlisted it because it's a possibility. I'm not particularly happy about the service history, but at least it has been serviced, and you can see the MOT there is October. It's grade 4, so not particularly brilliant, but as I said, we'll add it to the shortlist and see where we go from there. Page 2. Again, 28 grand. Again, why is that car here? You can see here again, I've highlighted this one, Focus hatch. It is an EcoBoost engine, but serviced at 7, 13, 26, 39, 52, 65 and 80. So yeah, only 2 main agent stamps, but a service at the end of the day is a service if it's been done properly. Main dealer stamps are nice, but it's not always really realistic or practical. So yeah, 91,000 mile EcoBoost, not ideal, but again, add it to the shortlist, it's a possible because it has got a bit of history and it is a grade 3, so we'll give it a go. Focus hatch there for this is a possibility. Again, you can see an EcoBoost, 26,000 miles. It's had 1 service at 20,000, sorry, at 6k in 2020, and it's now done what, 26. You may find that's the reason why Gates are deciding that that's not a great car to retail, because that's prime retail stock, that, but the service history is not particularly brilliant for a car that's approaching 6 years old, 5 years old, that's had 1 service. Granted, it's low mileage, but it's also an EcoBoost, and you know, and it's a bit expensive for us anyway, so that's why that's not on the shortlist. Oh, look out, we've got the 3 cherries up here. Look, watch. Again, a little A4, big A4 here, 2.71. That's been serviced at 19, 32, 40, and you can see all the services there till it got to 77. It's done 81 now. So yeah, I mean, that looks like a nice car. We haven't got a grade because of the age. Aston Barkley don't grade, I think, past 10 years. So that's a car we'd need to look at to see exactly what condition it's in. But at this stage, definitely on the shortlist. A little Micra, automatic, 54,000 miles. Again, with a nice history on it. You know, that's likely to go for bucket loads. So yeah, it's on the shortlist, but that's likely to go for silly money. And look at this, a grade 1 Ibiza, 64,000 miles. Again, a lovely service history. You know, that's an ideal car. It's shortlisted. It's a 5.5 grand retail car. That's likely to go for a fair chunk, which won't leave a lot of margin if there is something wrong with it. But it's a pretty enough car, so we'll have a look at that one. 13, 10, 19, no. 8.5, 1.6 litre Fiesta, grade 1. Why haven't I? Oh, it's an ST3. I tend to steer away from the high performance stuff. Not that you know, I don't like it. Trust me, I do. But there tends to be a market for it, and there tends to be dealers for them. I don't want to fight it out with the dealers that know more about that sort of stuff than I do. You know, if you've watched YouTube channels before, they always tell you to find a niche, and it's the same with motor dealers. Find your niche, and that's where you sell cars to. At the moment, where I am in the barn, it's not really the place where I want to sell that. That's the glossy showroom with the nice shiny tiles. My stuff is really like genuine, honest family cars that I'm looking to sell. So that's it's a nice car, don't get me wrong, but that's the reason why it's not on there. And besides which, as a grade 1, as an ST3, there'll be competition for that, and it's not really a battle I want to undertake, so that's why that's not on the shortlist. 13 grand, grade 5, 9 grand. No, I don't really want to do a lot of body work, as I said. Page 3. I think there. Again, that a bit old. This Fiesta, 50,000. Why didn't I pick up on this one? Let's have a look. So it's a 1 litre. Again, it is EcoBoost. It will be an early EcoBoost as well. You know, it has been serviced very regularly, 12 to 33 to 40 to 43, and now 50. I mean, you know, the problem is I've got a Fiesta in the barn at the moment, and it's immaculate. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I've had 2 people come and look at it. One, which is, say if you watch the last video, you know why the first person didn't walk away with it. And I had one over Christmas that came to look at it. And bearing in mind the car is immaculate, and when the lady said she was going to come and have a look at it, I was fairly sure it was going to be a sale, because they're interested in the car. There's nothing about the car that would put them off. Well, at least I thought. And when they turned up, the one thing they found that was wrong with the car was the fuel cap didn't lock. Now, when I said to her, I don't think it's designed to lock, because there's the fuel safe filler. So it is literally just a flap to stop dirt getting in. It's not to stop people siphoning fuel, because that's already taken care of. Yeah, she was pretty adamant about the fact that the fuel cap should lock. So, hey, you know, sometimes you can't reason with people, and I realised at that stage that probably wasn't going to get sold, and it didn't. So, whether I want another Fiesta of the same kind of age, granted this is a petrol, the other one's a diesel, but I don't know. I'll put it on the shortlist. There's a reason why I missed it off the first time, which I can't quite fathom, but I'll work that one out. There's a Rio here, Kia Rio. No notes, service book. It's another small car, it's cheap. That should be on the shortlist as well, to be honest. We'll put that on there as well. It's funny, after I did all these shortlists, I saw this one and thought, why is that on the shortlist? 95,000 mile Fiat 500. I've got 2 Fiat 500s, and again, no interest in them, so let's remove that one. A little Swift here, you know, grade 4, no MOT. Yeah, £8,000. I mean, what, for a 10-year-old Suzuki Swift? Okay, an 08 plate Focus. Looks like one of the Billy Basic ones with the wheel trims, so yeah, I'm not a great fan of that shape of Focus. I think they're extremely boring. Yeah, not really something that I want to buy. Again, another old Focus. This Seed's interesting, 68,000 miles, 12 plate. Might be a decent car, say a £5 retail car is ideal. 12 grand Insignia there, which is cracking. Look at that, 19 plate with 44,000 miles for 12 grand. That's pretty good value, I think, in my eyes. A couple of Evokes, a Mini, all too much for me. 64 plate Focus diesel there, grade 1. Serviced 15, 15, 16, 17. Hasn't been serviced since 2018. Yeah, that might be why I probably said no to that, to be honest. So that's why that one's out. Anyway, you can see my process here, what I'm doing. I'm looking at the MOT dates, service histories, mileage, and trying to work out exactly what it is. So I'll save the board and we're going through the rest of the stock and looking at them, and we'll skip straight to the shortlist that I've picked out. Okay, so we can just go into our watch list now. Bring these all up, and you should be able to just pull up an Excel spreadsheet, which we'll do there. And we'll just transfer that over into an Excel sheet and take out information we don't need and put in information we do need with one little extra line or helpers. So bear with me for a second.
One eternity later.
So welcome back. I've put all that into a spreadsheet now, which I'll pop up on the screen if I've done this correctly. And you'll see everything's all there. The one column I have added, and this isn't anything to do with any sort of sponsorship. You may have seen people talking about Vehicle Score recently. I'm not sponsored by them, but the score they give is so much information on the free report that when you're doing this job, it really helps you to go through and really nail which cars have got problems. The only one I could see that had a problem was this Kia Rio, which its MOT had like 20 advisories or bits and pieces on it on the last MOT. So it's a huge flag. It saves me going through the MOT history of each vehicle, and then checking this and then checking that. A lot of stuff is on that vehicle score. So yeah, your vehicle score is a really useful thing just to be able to weed out the bad ones. So that seed is going to have to go, which is a bit of a shame because it was pretty, I mean, look at the service history, 10, 19, 29, 39, 14, 8, 58. I mean, it's bang on, but I think it's just, unfortunately, yeah, come to the end of its life, unfortunately, by the looks of the MOT, and it's not one. Like I said, it might be a great car, but as I keep saying to you, our job here is not to. Actually, I was looking. That's the Rio. My apologies. It's the Rio that's wrong. The seed's nice. I think God doesn't want me to have that seed by the looks of it. We'll delete that off. And then we've got a list of the vehicles that we're going to look at tomorrow. Tomorrow, Wednesday. So, or Thursday, Wednesday? I don't know. Christmas days is just, you lose everything, don't you? I'm not going to go through the video of auction stuff, and this is just how I actually get to the vehicles that I want to look at. But the one thing I do want you to know on this is that all I've done is gone through and added the vehicle score on this and to see. But I want you to look at the former keepers and the average vehicle score by using these parameters. And can you see it brings out some really, really nice cars on this. Doesn't happen all the time. This is a prime example, and I haven't just picked it out because of that. But there are some very nice cars on there that are probably going to cost a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But you know, as long as we can turn a profit on them, that's the name of the game. And if we can churn them quickly, if they're that good, we can pick them up, clean them, service them, get them out the door in under a month, and we make, I don't know, so we can make 600 quid on each car. Happy days. We buy 3, there's 2 grand nearly. So yeah, I think that's a good exercise, and it shows you exactly the reason why I do what I do to try and pick out the cars that I pick out. May not work for you, but it certainly works for me. Like I say, choose what's right for you, but this is the homework you need to do before you go to an auction. Please, whatever you do, don't just think I'm going to rock up to an auction tomorrow, get a catalogue and go and look around. You're just asking for trouble. This is the hard work you need to go through beforehand, so when you go there to the auction the following day or whenever you go, that you know exactly what you've got to look at, and don't waste your time looking at things you haven't picked out in that list. There's enough cars in that list to interest you and for you to get your teeth into. So yeah, there you go, that's my process. I realise it's been a bit tedious and a bit spreadsheety today, but you know, sometimes the glamorous stuff is the YouTube stuff, and some of it's the bit that makes you money. You pays your money, you choose your viewing time, and you decide what you want to do. But like I say, this is the bread and butter that makes you the money. So more videos to come. Please give us a like on the video. I do go into the more technical side of things, I know that, and I'm not the more glamorous bit. Eventually I do want to get to that, but to be honest, with the whole way the last couple of videos kind of blew up, it's left me in this kind of quandary as to what to do, because you're supposed to get about, what, 6 months and 20 videos to learn YouTube. I literally got it in 2 videos. So yeah, anyway, give us a like, give us a comment if you like this sort of stuff. If you want it to be a bit more glamorous, go to the auction, see what happens there. I've still got the video to do on the Jap cars, I know, and also the one about, you know, how to start a dealership and everything like that. I will get to those, but hey, time is money, right? Anyway guys, take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon, and don't forget, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. Help me get to that monetization, and that all helps the business along. So if you can do that and let Google pay my rent, that'd be awesome. So thanks guys, take care, see you later.